My name is Alex, and I'm a Toyaholic. So how did I get a blue snaggletooth? The part of this story that I'm having difficulty reconstructing is how did I know of the existence of a blue snaggletooth? Because there was no internet yet. It had to have been like a price guide or something, because I don't remember ever seeing one until I held it in my hand. But a pen pal of mine was getting rid of some Star Wars figures, and we were negotiating back and forth. And I'm gonna say that it was Julie Brown.
This is downtown Julie Brown.
Not that Julie Brown. Matter of fact, this Julie Brown, if you called her downtown, she didn't like it. Apparently lots of people in the 80s were calling her that. But I got pen pals when my address was printed in the letter column of a G.I. Joe comic book. So from age 15 until well into my 20s, almost 30s, I was corresponding with people thanks to comic books. This is not a good practice to have your address out there in the public domain, because at one point I had dozens of pen pals all across the U.S., some in other countries. One guy was in Nigeria, as a matter of fact. And you're like, this many people know where I live, really? Basically, it's a little scary in hindsight. It reminds me of in college, my one friend Laura was walking around saying, "Our student IDs are the letter U followed by our social security number. This is not a good system." And she was right. Speaking as someone who's been identity thefted by someone that had an old income tax return from when I was married to them, that is not a secure system. And I was glad that they changed that. I was glad when my bank stopped using my social security number as the routing number for my accounts and everything. So yeah, it was a less secure world in the 80s. But Julie said she had some Star Wars figures to sell. And among the list, she said blue snaggletooth. Now, bear in mind, this would have been like high school, maybe college. I certainly had no job. I had no income. So I said, I will give you $20 for that blue snaggletooth, sight unseen. She emailed me back, or she mailed me back. She snail mailed me back. And she said, I know what it's worth, but it's not in the best condition. So just pay me $5 for it. She said the boots are scuffed. The paint on the silver boots is scuffed. So just give me $5. And I gave her $5. And she stuck this in a box and mailed it to me for $5. And I immediately took it outside and wrapped masking tape around the legs down and hit it with silver spray paint. So the day I got it, it looked like this within half an hour of taking it out of the package. So this is the same silver spray paint that I put on these boots in the late 80s, early 90s, somewhere in that ballpark. So, as a matter of fact, I'll say it has to be before 1992, because after I graduated college in the summer of 92, then Yak Face was the last figure that I needed to complete my run. So it has to have been somewhere late 80s to 91, summer of 92 at the latest. So yeah, spray painted those, and I've had him in my collection ever since. But I didn't have the Sears Cantina playset to go with. And it's kind of interesting, one of the ways that I tried to make a copy, a facsimile of that playset, involved borrowing one of the two in his possession from my friend John Givens. Matter of fact, we should probably go pay John a visit, because he has two original blue snaggletooths in his collection. Snaggletooths? We'll explore that. John may factor into several of these stories because he was the one that got me a complete set of Star Wars Bindums one time and brought them to me. Sort of got me back into the Star Wars collecting at a time that I was, focused more on marriage and stuff like that. And then Also, there was the time that he needed his vintage Kenner Millennium Falcon repaired. I think it was the landing gear or something like that. And brought it to me, and I cracked open the fuselage and found a Han Solo inside that he didn't know was in there. So right now, I'm looking at his apartment building. Actually, Debbie and I used to live in that apartment building many, many years ago. You know, it wasn't until I pulled into the parking lot that it dawned on me. I once had a Star Wars item stolen out of my car at this very location. It was a 12-inch doll of Governor Tarkin that I'd bought from my friend Terry Pace. I messaged him and said, Terry, I found that Peter Cushing doll you wanted. Oh, great. Go out to the car the next morning, it had been broken into and everything was gone.
Hey, sorry. I was going to call you later. I'm going to be rehearsals every day this week. So I won't be home on Sunday. Alright. I'm turning on the air right now. Alex is over here and he's shooting some footage.
Now, John, unlike me, is a Toyaholic.
Yes.
Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. This is his second bedroom. This is what he calls the toy room. Now, he's got a lot of cool stuff in here. He-Man, Universal Monsters, fantastic Alien collection, wow. Mostly Transformers, I would call John's big love. G.I. Joe.
Those are the 25th. I can't find my originals.
Uh-oh.
Well, I know where they are, but many of them are so many pieces now.
A lot of Doctor Who here. Now, some of John's collection has survived a fire.
Which would be quite a few of the Doctor Who toys. A few of them I was never able to fully clean off, and eventually just, okay, I'll abandon this and I'll find a new version.
So this is apartment 3 that you've lived in this building.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The fire was in a different room.
Yeah, across the hall. And then I decided I wanted more space. I wanted to actually have my stuff out where I could see it or else get rid of it. And so this is the result of my move.
I made that custom for him. How many years ago?
I don't remember.
10 or 15?
Yeah.
Whenever the movie came out,
Well,
I
yeah,
guess.
whenever that Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So that was whenever that, about 08, 09 maybe.
Oh, you even got Ectotron.
Mm-hmm. The first version, the box is up here somewhere.
I haven't opened either of mine.
And my, well, he's down there somewhere. Oh yeah, there he is. The DeLorean.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Gigawatt.
Mm-hmm. I had to think for the name.
You have one slightly more modern Cantina Alien back there, but the rest of these are all vintage.
Yeah. The newer one is one you gave me. I think because it's either its name, I can't forget, I forgot your reason for it, but you gave it to me.
Oh, he's a Given.
Yeah.
That's okay. So I gave one to John Givens. Mm-hmm. How funny. I'd forgotten that. Everything else here is like legit vintage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
John's got a blue Snaggletooth. John's got 2 blue Snaggletooths. He won't miss one of them. Okay.
You do know I have an armory here, right?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So tell me the story. Why do you have 2 blue Snaggletooths?
Okay, my brother and I both got the same set when it came out.
Oh,
and
so jealous.
Yeah. So, and of course now he doesn't care anything all about it. He's up in New York. He doesn't care about the toys. And it's like, I've had it in the bucket of my figures for years. And then when I opened these up to put them out here, it's like, oh, here's Sid's, here's mine.
All right, let's get them together and take a picture of them together.
The choice is...
If I can do this without knocking over all your...
Oh, please, it's like a domino rally in there. Whichever one has the better paint job is mine.
Said every older brother ever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, me. All right, so...
Yeah,
clearly both well loved.
Oh, yeah, we enjoy them thoroughly. I mean... That's what toys are for. Yeah, okay, fine. You know, let someone who goes and cries, "You opened it." No. If you can't touch it, what's the point?
Exactly.
And we thoroughly enjoyed these toys. You know, There's no question about that.
All right. So now, let's see what it looks like with 3 vintage blue Snaggletooths on a shelf together. Because I have mine in my pockets.
Okay.
Now, the boots on mine are not original. I spray painted them.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. That's a lot of money right there.
Yeah. Have you seen the Clone Wars episode where he shows up?
I have not.
Yeah. Dave Filoni in several episodes would have characters based on the vintage toys.
Oh, cool.
So the blue Snaggletooth shows up. A Greedo shows up in his all green outfit. A Walrus Man shows up. It's really kind of cool.
You know that watching The Mandalorian, that was my feeling, was that Filoni and Jon Favreau were playing with vintage Star Wars figures to write the scripts.
I wouldn't doubt it. Okay, that has a Doctor Who connection in a way.
It does.
Yeah. In an episode, The 10th Planet, you see a pair of astronauts on board a ship, and they're wearing this identical outfit, which apparently was a cast-off RAF flight suit. So, yeah, if you know where to look, you can see Doctor Who, Star Wars and Doctor Who, and of course, several actors crossed over. So.
The flight suit appears by itself in the cantina scene.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then the mask for that alien appears in the cantina scene as a different alien. And so then for The Empire Strikes Back, they just sort of threw an existing mask with an existing costume.
Hey, it worked.
And gave it different arms and legs and turned it into Bosk.
Yeah, well, it worked. Let's not question it.
Now, legend has it that the wax sculpt for Blue Snaggletooth was not repurposed into Red Snaggletooth. He was, I guess, done by a first casting or whatever. So the wax sculpt for him became the wax sculpt for Bosk. And if you look at them, you can kind of start to see the similiarities.
In the shape of the arms?
The nostrils, the head just a little bit, the length of the legs, everything. So, all right.
Didn't know that.
Now, do you still have the Sears Cantina playset?
It is somewhere in the wardrobe in my bedroom, but we've talked about that before, and it's not.
Oh, let's.
I'll see if I can find it.
I thought, wow, the deco on this Luke helmet looks great. Notice he's wearing Yoda's belt.
Wow, I actually found parts of it. It took me a while, but I found it's in 3 parts now, so
Wow, it took you a while.
yeah, it really did. Yeah. All kinds of stuff are falling on my head in that thing. It's almost a passage to Narnia at this point.
All right, so here we have.
Yeah.
Wow, it looks better than the last time I saw it.
You peeled off the duct tape.
I wish I had a photo of that. John volunteered to loan this to me one time, and when he gave it to me, it had been taped together with duct tape on the front.
Okay, I was a kid. Yeah.
He put duct tape right on the front of this thing to hold it together. Oh, I'm amazed how good it looks to have had that duct tape removed.
Now, I wish I knew where the pegs were, because you gave them back to me in a little baggie, and I'm pretty sure I know where it is. It's in Coleman, but I never put them back in.
That's fine. I mean, we could totally salvage this. I mean, we could.
It would be kind of neat to have it out here.
Yeah. That is amazing.
Yeah.
That looks so much better than I was picturing it. So,
Yeah, but-
when you came in and it looked so good, I thought I must have made him a copy of mine. But this is the one. I mean, you can tell by the cardboard. It's got the ink marks on the back of it and everything.
But my brother and I, we both got these for that particular Christmas, and again, we thoroughly enjoyed them.
I can't imagine having 2 of something like that. I mean, because I have sisters, but I didn't have a brother to share Star Wars with.
To prevent arguments, my parents bought 2 of everything.
Yep.
Now, this didn't stop certain things from happening, like me finding my short fuse or my Boba Fett or my AT-AT driver behind my brother's bed.
Oh.
See, I would put my stuff back up, and he'd just leave where it was lying. And the end result was that he'd end up losing his, and he'd come steal mine. And so I have to go behind his bed and find it and put it back where it's supposed to be.
But you're not bitter.
About that, no. About that, no. In fact, one year for Christmas, just to, memories of it, I bought Sydney a new Boba Fett This was in 96, 97.
You can see a little bit of the residue from the duct tape, just a little bit. Wow!
And look where the peg holes.
What did I tell you how I cleaned it? What
No.
did I use?
I don't know. Now you see these little indentions.
Oh, right, where it would lay flat on top of its own pegs.
Yes.
Yes, I've seen that. I've seen that happen to them.
Yeah.
That's a good detail. Yeah, I mean,
Now the only one I ever really noticed was this one, just because of where it was.
Right.
But
we as kids, we didn't think about preserving
No,
these
we
things. We
enjoyed it.
played with them.
Yeah, we enjoy them. I mean, that's the whole point. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is a museum right now with toys, but guess what? I open them and I still mess with those Transformers sometime.
Lines up perfectly with where that peg would have been.
Yep.
When you folded it forward. The hell, man?
This is that's the electronic one.
Yeah.
Sometimes if it falls over, it lands on its head and goes off.
Oh wow, that is cool. I was not mentally picturing that looking as good as it does.
Yeah,
I'm glad that it looks that good for you.
This tear just happened today, getting it out of
What? Which one?
right here.
Oh, that
That
just happened.
That just happened. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Again, it's not as if
Whatever
it
we
can't
document, we destroy.
be, yeah. Well, it's not as if it can't be fixed. Only not with duct tape on the front again.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's quite an impressive collection, John.
Yeah.